pro-immigrant pieces of legislation, all of my colleagues who are co-leading on this bill, and other legislation to protect immigrants, the Safe Communities Act Coalition, many of whom are behind me now, and pro-immigrant allies for your support today at the State House and all across Massachusetts. And my heart goes out to vulnerable immigrant communities that have grown more scared, insecure, and uncertain over the past week. As elected officials, one of our most sacred duties is to keep all of our constituents safe and secure. In that same vein, as the most senior filer of the Safe Communities Act, I want to lift up that this legislation is not about political affiliation or partisanship, but rather to set a clear, bright line between the role of federal immigration officials and our state and local law enforcement and court personnel, educating immigrants without legal status about their rights and ensuring that law enforcement in each of our communities continues to have the trust of all residents, keeping everyone safe. That the Safe Communities Act was first filed during the Obama administration and now the Biden and Trump administrations speaks to the universal values that are the foundation of this bill. A common reality that many elected officials, immigration advocates, cities and towns and schools, and immigrants have found, however, is that the federal police force ICE has the ability to strike fear in the heart of millions of undocumented immigrants and their families across Massachusetts and America. In a nation that has always resisted a national police force, in a state with a long history in fighting against the kind of tyranny where people are under mass surveillance by their government that intrudes on enjoying our lives, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I truly hope that all Massachusetts residents can gain an appreciation for how deeply disturbing it is to have a national immigration police that often seems to have no limits to its power. And let's recognize what that power is. Yes, to enforce our nation's immigration laws, as broken as they are, but power also to rip families apart, make communities less safe, hurt the economy, and cause deep anxiety for many immigrant communities. Over the course of my filing the Safe Communities Act, I have seen that kind of damage directly in the district that I represent, a Metro West suburban district with a growing population of immigrants from countries across the globe that have made each community stronger and more vibrant. I want to give you a heartbreaking example from this week that I have confirmed is true. On Tuesday morning, I received a video from a Brazilian American friend of mine of an ICE SUV pulling over a driver in Marlborough, a city that I represent that has one of the largest Brazilian communities in the nation. Yesterday, in my conversations with the Marlborough police chief, concerned constituents, and immigration advocates, including Mira, I learned that ICE came to Marlborough on Tuesday morning with a particular individual as a target. Unfortunately, ICE officials, instead of finding that target at his home, saw a car drive out from that same street with a similar profile as ICE's target and pulled him over. My constituent's license was checked by ICE, and when it turned out that he was without legal status, he was arrested and processed at the Burlington ICE office. My constituent is now being held in the Plymouth County Jail. That is wrong. My constituent, originally from Brazil, has a wife who is pregnant, who I spoke with yesterday. They have one child, own a small business, and are leaders in their church. The husband has no criminal record. It was chilling to speak to this man's wife yesterday, desperately trying to figure out how she and her husband and their family will move forward. In Massachusetts, we cannot control federal immigration law or immigration officials, but we can make sure that the value of Massachusetts, of our history as a welcoming state, and as a commonwealth that looks after our most vulnerable residents, is not lost in yet another wave of anti-immigrant, destructive xenophobia. Passing the Safe Communities Act is one way to ensure that we hold on to our values and the people who make Massachusetts such a special place. I am proud to be part of this campaign to support the Safe Communities Act and other critical pieces of legislation. Let's get the movement started. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Eldridge. Thank you for being a champion.